Okay, I'm about to start the fig cuttings, and I bought these containers specifically to put them in because I want them to hold in humidity. And this is the lid for them, so I'm hoping that they're short enough to fit in this container. If they're not, then I'm going to have to find something else that they will fit in, that I can stick them in to get them going. I looked at one of the cuttings. There's 10 of each cutting, but I looked at one bundle of 10 and I saw growth on one of them. So I really do have to get these done because I think the rest of them are not going to make it. So if I can just get the one, then that will be a stock plant for me. So I'm going to check the height to see if this will work. If it doesn't, I'm going to have to find something else that the cuttings will fit in, and I just won't be able to have a top on them. So I will have to make sure that they don't dry out throughout the day until they are rooted. So I checked the containers and they're not going to work because the cuttings are too big. So I've got this, and even though it is a weed barrier, it's not a good landscape one. They don't work for landscape. But what it will work for, I'm going to cut it so that it will block the holes in the basket to keep my sand from leaching out of the holes in this. So it'll work for that, and I'm probably going to put some in the bottom, and then I will do it running around the sides to hold the sand in. So I'm going to get that cut and get it fitted so I can put the sand, and I'm going to mix sand and perlite together. So I'm going to get that done. Alright, I've got the weed barrier cut, and of course I cut it crooked and a little too big, but that's okay. As long as it covers the holes, that's all that matters, because I can cut this off after I get my sand in here. So that's what that's going to look like, covering the holes for me to keep the sand inside. Okay, so I'm happy with the way the play sand looks. I'm not going to add any perlite to it. I think it's going to be fine the way it is. And I bought this handy dandy little spatula so that I can make my places in it to put my figs when I get ready to stick them. I've got to wet this first, and then I'm going to start sticking the figs in here. Oops, sorry about that. I hit the camera and I hit it again. Sorry about that. Alright, if you notice, I did go ahead and add some perlite. I did not like how it was draining because the water seemed to be sitting on top. So I went ahead and added some perlite to help the drainage. I probably will just mist these to keep them moist, so I won't really be pouring water on them. But I didn't like the idea that it was pooling up on top of the sand before it started draining through. The perlite did help, so it's still not the way I would like to see it draining through, so I'll probably end up just misting these. So here are my figs. Yes, they look bad, but this one right here does have, oh, right there, it has a green tip on it, so it should be fine. The rest of them may not. I am about to hit them with a peroxide water mist. I mixed it pretty strong with probably about 20% of a peroxide, 3% peroxide to water, so that will help with any fungus that they have. And then I also have a fungicide that I'm going to spray on them just in case, because they do look bad and they do have some fungus issues, but that's because they've been wrapped up and in this white paper, and inside of a plastic bag in my refrigerator. And I do have Hormone 3 to put on them. I'm going to cut the ends of where they were cut off because they don't look that great. So I'm going to go ahead and cut those off, and then I'm going to dip them, and then I'm going to stick them in the sand. See how the bottom of these look? Well, that is the crystal silica stuff that the lady that I bought these from puts on them to keep them from drying out. But I wasn't keeping them moist enough in the refrigerator for it to be hydrated. But since I just sprayed them with the peroxide water mix, they soaked up the water and they have rehydrated. Some of these still look like they've got some good bit of green on them, so I don't know, they may be okay. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I get. Okay, do you see that? I just cut the end off where the bottom was, and then I scraped a little bit, and it's still green down there. So this one may still have some life in it. My fingers will be crossed. I'm about to dip it in the hormone, and then I will stick it in the sand. So there they are. I still got to water them, but I take a little bit of the hormone and I just put it in a cap so I don't contaminate my whole container, because these were pretty wet. A lot of people use the whole container, but I don't like to do that. So I just put it in here, and then I dipped the ends and stuck them in there, and I've got to water them. So when I water the lines that I made, the sand will fill in. And this is well, I'm not sure which one that one is because I can't read the tag the way it is. But I'm not going to have time to do the other ones, so I'm going to moisten them a little bit and put them back in the refrigerator, and I will finish this tomorrow. But I've got this much done, so that's the process. I did cut the ends off, and I scratched them, some of them a little bit. I showed you that. I didn't do it all to all of them, but I did dip them in the hormone. I did spray the fungicide on them, and now I'm going to moisten this, and it will just be a waiting game until they start to do something. But can you see this one? It looks good, although it has no roots, but it is fine. So out of all of these, this one and this one have green still on them, and there was still green on the end. So somewhere, some way, even if just a little bit of it starts growing at the end, I should be able to get some out of those two. But these two here will definitely, hopefully, give me 2 figs. Alright, y'all. That is it. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I will try my best to answer your questions for you. If you liked the video, then please give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. If you like what I do at my channel, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great day.